Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. Where have I been? Well, unless you are one of my email subscribers, you wouldn't know. But I have been down and out, completely out of commission, sick for the past going on 3 weeks. So if you are not already subscribed to my newsletters, make sure you do. I have been sending out video updates the last couple of months and everyone's really enjoying them and I'm enjoying making them. So yeah, since we got back from our trip and pretty much the day that I uploaded my last video, it just hit me like a train. So that is why I have not been filming. And as it is, I still am fighting this off. I'm a lot better, but both my ears are completely plugged, which makes it really, really hard to hear. I feel like I'm in a water tank. But I've really been missing making videos for you guys. And I have also been struggling with my mojo. I don't know if it's because I haven't been feeling well and, just no energy, sleeping like crazy. But I've just been kind of going through that, staring at my stamps and what the heck. Does that happen to you guys? Don't even answer. Yes, answer. I know that happens to all of us. And today I got inspiration. And I am so inspired that I knew I had to do this video today. It is for the coolest coffee staining paper technique that I have seen. And I will put the link in the description below where I saw this video. It's a delightful video. And I tell you what, I am excited about today's techniques and the cards and projects that you can make with it. And I'm also excited because my mind's just going, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can use so many of my stencils that I already have or masks. I can create my own using our die cuts and start creating for you. Okay, friends, let me just start off by saying that I have done coffee staining paper in the past. It is so much fun. It never grows old, even though it's an old technique, been around forever. But I started binge watching so many different videos and different ways that you can use the coffee or tea staining. We're doing coffee today. And I have picked up so many tips and tricks and ideas that I don't know how I'm going to possibly share them all in this one video, but I'm just going to wing it and create as we go, and hopefully you get lots of inspiration. I know you're going to get lots of inspiration, lots of ideas, and maybe you're going to learn something that you didn't know about, like I have. So what have I got here? I have a puppy piddle pad. Now, you can get these inexpensively. This was also something I picked up on a video that some people use to protect their surface. And after our dog Cooper had his back surgery last fall, and of course he was paralyzed from the back end, which now he can walk, as most of you know, which is great. But we had bought a box of these, and I thought, what the heck am I going to do with all of these? So they've been downstairs in the pantry, and they're now upstairs in my craft room. These are ingenious. So I'm using that as my my catch-all here so I don't make a mess on my desk. Now I'm going to show you just some of the backgrounds that I've been playing around with real quick, just to kind of give you an idea of what I've been up to. And I've been pulling in a lot of retired Stampin' Up! Product. I've also been using non-Stampin' Up! Product, like a little bit of everything that I've had in my craft room. Today, of course, I'm showing all Stampin' Up! Product, but again, most of what I've been using has been retired. But I know you guys have this stuff at home, and if you don't have the same things I'm using, and I don't expect you all to, but I do suspect you've got a lot in your craft room that you can use and improvise versus what I've done. So this was made using some of our stencils, our masks. Here's a little bit of a die that I cut out. See here? This is I can't remember the name of this die. I've got everything stacked up. I'll come back to this and I will tell you the names of all the things. But I just cut this out and used it as my own stencil, and that's one of the things I'm going to share with you today. And the cool thing is it also dyes your cardstock at the same time to use for projects. I used Fairy Vanilla cardstock for everything today. And then look at this. This was made using our dies and the die cuts and the negative of the die cuts as well. And of course, I'll be cutting these up and using them for cards and projects. This one I experimented with. This one was using the, oh, let me just grab my stamp set so I can tell you the names of everything. Let's just jump in and let me show you all the bits and pieces. And some of these are oldies but goodies, but they're pretty awesome. There's nothing wrong with using our retired stuff. So this was the butterfly thinlits dies that we used to carry, and I've already got die cuts done so that I can use them in today's project. This one, oh gosh, I don't have the name for this one, but this is the one that went with a silhouette stamp set that we used to carry. So it's got some words. It's got the tree, and it's got the dandelion, which I have also already pre-cut, as well as the word inspire. Scenic adventure. Yep, I got everything pre-cut for that. So this is current. Greatest joy. So I've got some dies cut here. Oh my gosh, I went through all my stash. I'm like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. Oh my goodness, look at all the things. This one was called, let me see now. This did not coordinate with the stamp set. Enchanting Details dies. Oh my gosh, can't wait to use that. What else? Inspiring Canopy. Okay, that was the one with the tree. Like, I don't know if I'm going to have time to do all of the things that I want to do in this video. I don't know if it's going to be a two-parter or just give you a, stepping point, jumping off point to go through your supplies and see what you can do. Dragonfly Dreams. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to use those dies. The Butterfly Brilliance. Citrus Blooms. That's what this one was. And I used the dies that coordinated with this. And yeah, that was an experiment. The bits and pieces left over I actually used for a card. So I don't have those anymore for the die cuts. Turned out beautiful on the card. Maybe I'll grab the card and show you. But look I used the alphabet dies as well, the mini alphabets, and I'm going to use, my plan is to use the current Blooming Phrases stamp set. It's a current set. I'm going to take birthday and I'm going to stamp or emboss birthday and then cut that out. So these were all experiments. Quiet Meadow. These have awesome dies that coordinated. Like, look at, guys. So, yeah. I went through and I just pulled out and die cut. Peaceful Bows. Remember, like, look at this. Oh my gosh. Okay, what else might we? Oh yeah, this one. I'm excited to try this one. Look at, we're going to be using this one. Seascape. That one has the seahorse and the fish. Now, I did try this one. I'm going to show you kind of what didn't work so that you don't, well, it depends on the look you're going for, right? There's no right or wrong. And then this set, Ranunculus Romance. And, yeah, just some different dies. I thought, who knows? They might be handy. They might. So anyways, that's just the dies, my friends. That's just the dies. That's not counting the masks and the stencils. Like, oh my goodness, that's causing a shadow. Let me move these over here. Okay, what else? So here's one where I used a stencil with the hearts. Again, using the Citrus Blooms die and the trees. This one was me just playing around, experimenting. This was the seahorse. The die cut was black cardstock, and that's why I got that black on there. Okay, so you do get a different look if you use black cardstock. So this one I used some lace. And then these ones, I haven't done anything on these ones yet. So can you see why I'm so excited? And and then I started experimenting using our ink refills with the coffee, and that's as far as I got on that one. Oh Lord, This is so much fun. So let me tell you, well, no, let me show you. Let me show you how I created my coffee stained cardstock, then the process of creating the designs. I have my instant coffee. Now the formula that I ended up going with, because I experimented, but I ended up going with 1 heaping tablespoon of instant coffee just from the dollar store, and just about 2/3 of a cup of water. I added a little bit of hot water first, boiling water, to dissolve it, and then I topped it up with cold water for the measurement. So that's what I have there. And then I have my fancy pantsy foam brush and just swipe it on. Okay. It is crazy all the different ways you can use coffee on your projects. Like, absolutely crazy. Okay, so you can set that outside to dry. You could leave it in your craft room, or you could use your heat tool, which is what I'm going to be doing today, to dry it. So I'm getting that good and wet. Right? You could leave that as is. But here's what I'm going to do. Let's start with some masks. I have so many pretty masks, stencils from Stampin' Up! Over the years, but I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to put it right in the middle of my 8.5 by 11 paper, because then I'll just cut this into 4. So, and I'm not going to worry. I know I'm going to get the square around it. Thinking about that. Let's just do this. We'll put it up in the corner. Okay. So now I'm just going to dab on my coffee liberally. And my paper's still wet. And then I'm going to show you how it works with dry paper. Okay. I am now going to take my heat tool and I'm going to start to zap this. I also have a cookie sheet in here, so I'm going to put this on the cookie sheet to dry as well. Okay, so I'm just going to start zapping it. I'm not going to go super close because, of course, I don't want to melt anything. Okay, I'm actually going to put this on my cookie sheet because I'm able to dry it underneath. Let me just bring this in. Right? I can actually lift up and heat underneath. So it works really, really well. Okay. So that was about, I'm going to say 3 minutes. And that was from doing the top and the bottom. And sometimes I just kind of held it in place and just kind of zapped it like that. So it's still damp, but it's not sopping like it was. And now for the reveal. Ta-da! Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna put this aside to dry, and then I'm gonna cut this, and I'll do some more on this side. Now I've gone ahead and I've cut up a couple pieces of my coffee stained fairy vanilla cardstock into 5.5 by 4.25 pieces, and then I can trim them as I need them. But because there's so many different things I want to show you today, I thought that would make more sense. And then I'll do a couple more full pieces just for fun. Okay, let's move on and use some dies. Now I'm going to re-moisten this, because at the time when I was staining them, I wasn't sure what worked best, and I think having the cardstock wet first works better. So I'm going to do one with, no, yeah. I'm going to do one with the die and one with the die cut so you can see the difference of both. So let's just shuffle that one over here. And let's just do this one here. This has been one of the most addictive techniques I've done in a long time. You should see, I have coffee stained paper over my entire craft room right now. Now, the cool thing is too, is when your cardstock is wet like this and you go to put cardstock on top, it kind of like glues it in place, if you will. So I'm just lining that up. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look beautiful just like that on the coffee stained paper? But let's kick it up a notch. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start dabbing on my coffee. Okay, there's one done. And then we'll do the same thing to this one. And then of course you're going to want to wash your dies. You don't want dried coffee on your dies. All right. Then I'm going to sap them just like I showed you a second ago. So I'm going to bring in my handy dandy tray, and you might get a little bit of the pattern of your cooling sheet baking tray, but that doesn't bother me. Or you can just, you know, lift it up a little bit as it's drying. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I am so excited about this reveal. I have purposely been waiting to use this die with you guys in the video. Okay, what should we do first? Let's do the die first. So let me grab my, where's my take your pick tool? Did I mention my desk is crazy right now because I have stuff all over it. So anyways, I'm going to use my scissors because I don't know if this is warm. Oh, it's not too bad. Oh, that looks pretty good. Not totally dry yet, but look at that, guys. So I knew the dies worked because I've tried it, but I hadn't done it on here. And this is probably because I didn't give it enough time to dry down here, but I don't care. I think that looks amazing. Okay, I'm just going to put that over here. And obviously because it was a thick, that's a thick die that was on here. That's going to take a little bit longer. Okay, let's see this one. Pretty, looky. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna give those another sap, and you can totally see the difference, can't you? Or can you? Yes, you can. I got the camera in my, like the camera mount in my way, but you can see this one's a lot lighter, right? So anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and sap them a bit more. So here are these two. Now, if I had left the die on it longer, again, I would have had more of that pattern, but I am delighted with this. This one's my favorite. Like, I actually love how it's soft and gradual and then makes its way over to where it's a bit darker. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to put these aside to dry, and then I'm going to come back to this one. Okay. This is going to be cool. So I have the coffee stain on here already, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, hang on. Okay. I have my clear block and I just grabbed ink refills. So I grabbed Lemon Lime Twist and Bubble Bath. I might want some darker green, but I'm going to start with this. So I'm just going to put a little bit there. Maybe I want some darker color too, other than the pink. Whatever. I'll come back. I'll come back to that. Let's just see. we'll put a little strawberry slush right there. And I just grabbed a little bit of Shy Shamrock, put that right there. Okay, so I'm going to take a water painter. I'm going to start with my pink. Oh, I'm definitely going to need more. There we go. So this is the bubble bath. And I'm just going to start splattering it. You know what? Let's get some paper behind that. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with my strawberry slush. Ooh, pretty. And then just a bunch of water. And a bunch of water. So this isn't going to be, oh my gosh, that's like perfectly positioned, right? I want it to flow, obviously. Okay, let's go in with the lemon lime twist. And we'll go in with the Shy Shamrock. Okay. Making a mess, right? Now I'm going to bring my coffee in and splatter on some coffee. I mean, alternatively, I could use my sponge. Yeah, that's better. Get a bigger area. But I don't want to lose everything that I've just done either. I want some of that color to come through. Okay. Let's see what we get. Before I remove it, it's starting to pop up, but one of the things that I don't think you've seen is when I put, like, I don't think the camera was on it close enough, but after I splattered on the color and then I dabbed my coffee on, the coffee spread those colors for me. So I'm really excited and hope this turned out. Yeah, so it's a bit wet over here, but see how I've got those colors in the background with the coffee? Right? Oh, okay. I need to dry this a bit more. You guys, like when that's trimmed out and I have my sentiment or however I decide to use it, like that is gorgeous. And you know, when you're splattering and you're thinking, well, that's crazy. Like, but those of you who know me, when you're watching me and you're like, that's a mess, you know, it turns out to be magical. And this is going to be one of those magical things when it's all dry and I finish it up. So I'm excited and I love the edge here. So I'm going to trim this up. Okay, so that is going to be gorgeous. I'm very excited. Okay, I think I said that already. All right, so here's the other piece of that paper. And oh my gosh, look at this. That's, oh, I have a really good idea for that. Okay. But wait, I want to do something with this piece that's dripping everywhere. So let me see. I'm going to just give this a good old swipe of coffee. It's already been pre-stained, but this is just going to add another nice layer. Again, when I first started making my papers, I was just like doing what I'm doing right now and then just let them all dry. And then I started experimenting and realized, oh wait, this technique works much better when the paper is wet. All right. Okay. So I'm bringing this stencil in. And why did I just dip that in water? We don't need that in water. We need that in coffee. Okay, so I'm just going to dab it a little bit randomly here. Then I'm going to spritz this with water and just smush it on. What I'm doing now, I have not done yet before, ever, but I'm experimenting, and that's the fun and the joy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and zap it. And I want some deeper colors, so I'm going to take this coffee and just do that. And then as I'm drying it, I might move it around a little bit. Okay. As you saw, I decided to flip it over and lie it flat and dry it and then flipped it back just to see, and I think it worked. So that is really cool. And I will definitely be adding more ink off my block. That was an experiment, but that was cool. I don't know why I went sideways, but I did, and that's okay. Let's do something over here. Let's do something over there. I'm going to bring in the Dragonfly Dreams and pull in my dies. This is still damp. I may add some more water, actually, or some more coffee, I should say. So let's do that. And I want to add some more of the ink like I did here, because I think that was super cool. So we'll kind of do the same thing. See, this is why you just have to play and hope for the best, say a little prayer, have a little drink of gin, and go for it. Put your music on, and then hope it all turns out. Okay, where's my strawberry slush? Such a pretty color. And what was the other color I used? Shy Shamrock. It's a lot of ink going on that. Ooh, that's a lot of ink too. That's okay. I'm going to show you another way you can use the inks too, but stand by. Oh, look how that's all. Oh my gosh. This is too much fun. Seriously, guys, I don't remember the last time I had this much fun. Okay, I am going to put this smack dab there so I know it's overlapping a bit. Why not? Who says I can't? Let's just, what am I going to even use this for? I don't know. Who cares? We'll figure it out. Okay, let's just put that there. And let's just put, that might be too much. Let's just leave it at the 2. Okay, so taking my coffee. Oh, I'm excited. And I'm just dabbing around because I don't want to lose all that beautiful stenciling that I just did. But I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to dry it a little bit and then I'm going to add my color. Oh my gosh. Actually, hang on. I want to splatter. Let me find a paintbrush I want to use. Oh, here, we'll just use this water paint right here. In my coffee. Okay. Heat set. Okay, so it's not fully dry, but I want to come back to this. So A lot of color going on. And I'm literally, oops, didn't mean to move that. Oh boy, this is fun. Okay. And some more coffee. Okay, I just had the idea and I didn't put the camera on, but I put my stencil back on top, right on top of the dies, and I just added some more coffee. It was just an idea I had because, you know, that's how it works. You get going, you're like, oh, well, maybe what if I try this? And oh, what if I try that? That's what's happening. So let's give it a try. Okay, not totally dry, but I'm going to lift it. Oh, so cool. All right, what am I going to do over here? Same thing? No. What else have I got? Hang on. Okay, I came across this one. So I'm going to put some flowers on there. Where? How? See, I don't want to lose all of this. I'm going to zap it a little bit more. Okay, let's just... How do we want this? Yeah. Something like that, I think. Okay. Okay, let's see how that one looks. That's not bad. Whoops, don't move my dragonfly yet. Okay, I want to add a little bit more of this right here though. Just a bit. Let's see what happened. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to finish drying this. I was just thinking before this dries completely, I actually want to stamp it so some of the stamping blurs a little bit. So I'm going to grab the Elements of Text stamp set. So I'm going to actually ink this with what? Early Espresso. So I don't know, maybe this is too dry, but it does feel damp to me. So let's see. Take some coffee and just kind of try to... Oh. And I'm actually going to use the splatter stamps from the same stamp set on here also with pecan pie. We're also going to do some, I think, with the Early Espresso. I'm really personally loving this. Okay. I'm going to keep that pecan pie out because I think I'm going to come back to it. Okay. Okay, I'm pulling in the butterfly that actually coordinates with that big die, and I'm just going to stamp it. Hang on. Yeah. Hang on. Just do it. Just do it. This one's missing his head, so I'm going to try to do it again. Oh, and I went to early espresso that time by mistake. It's okay. Right, I want to go around the edges with my ink pad, my early espresso. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm pulling in another retired stamp set, gorgeously made, and I'm taking this image because I really want to emboss some gold on this. And this is pretty much dry, which is a good thing. Oops. I'm going to take my embossing buddy just in case. But this is one of those projects where if the gold decides to go somewhere other than where I was originally intending it to, I think it's still going to be really, really pretty. And I know exactly what I'm turning this into. So watch to the end so you can see what this is going to be. Maybe you can guess. Okay. So that's 3 of them. Let me get my gold. I love playing with what I have. And giving my products the love they deserve. I think I'm going to put the sentiment on that one. So I'm going to leave that as it is for the stamping right now and set that with the heat tool. Gold looks on here. Love it. All right. The last thing I want to do before I end up putting this together in my project and adding my sentiment is I do want some drops of coffee. So I'm pulling in a syringe. This was meloxicam that I had for one of my pets. So you can use a dropper, but I couldn't find a dropper. But I had a syringe. So I'm just going to, whoops, sorry. I'm just going to go from a height. And don't be afraid, Tina. Maybe I'll tap it. Oh yeah, tapping it, that works. There we go. There we go. Nice. Okay. I'm just gonna set that aside to dry. All right. More. Okay. I'm gonna pull in some die cuts. So this is Quiet Meadow. Put that right there. Put a butterfly there. Oh, I'm thinking, let's crisscross these. Maybe we just need the two. Okay. See, I'm being very generous with the coffee. Right? Okay. I'm just going to put this on my cookie sheet. Okay, I'm going to carefully lift this up and put it on my cookie sheet. Then I'm going to bring another one in. Okay. I'm going to grab stencil. I'm just going to do this one here. I'm going to put that on top, like so. This is another experiment. Playing around. Then I'm going to take the negative from the die cuts and put that on and see what we get. Oops, little piece here didn't come out. Oops. Oh dear. Okay. Okay, let's try it again. Okay. Okay, this is where I'm going to start pulling in some more ink refills. So, dab on my coffee again. And I'm going to use the Stampin' Spritzer this time. Okay. And let's see what we have for some more die cuts. Actually, let's use another stencil. I really love this one. We'll put that one like, yeah, that's fine. We'll do it that way. I'm trying to make sure my corners are pretty even. Okay. This is one of my new favorite ways of using the coffee, is what I'm about to show you. So I'm dabbing on coffee right on top of that stencil. Again, being pretty generous. Okay, I'm going to give it a little zap. While it's still wet, I'm going to bring in my spritzer, and this has, I believe it's Blueberry Bushel. It's Blueberry Bushel ink refill with my water, and I'm going to spritz it. Like so. Maybe we'll get those edges, those corners. There we go. And then I'm going to take my coffee again, and I'm just pressing down some more blue and zap it. And no, you don't want to go so close to your stencil that you're going to melt it. That would be sad. So I am keeping about 4 inches away from the stencil. So I really didn't do it very long. And I think I'm going to just dab it and set it aside on my cookie sheet. And kind of see if things will roll around a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go put that on my cookie sheet. All right, next one. I'm going to show you how I created this. Okay, so another piece of cardstock. And I'm just dabbing it on, right? You can move it around however you like, whatever makes you happy. And then I'm going to spritz right into the coffee. You can leave it as is, or you can let it roll around, right? And then you're going to let that dry. While that's drying, I'm bringing this one back in, and I'm going to add a little bit of blue on here. Oh, let's get a little bit on that butterfly. And put on some more coffee, some more splatters. And I'm going to put this back on my cookie sheet. Okay. I think you kind of get the gist of what I'm doing. But I'm going to show you one last cool thing that you can do with the technique that I just showed you. But I'm going to do a little cleanup. Okay. So I'm going to bring this back in. And let me see. Do I want to use a stencil or stamper die cut? Oh, I'm not sure. We're going to use a stencil. Okay, so you can do this a couple of ways. You can do it with your coffee, or you could do it with ink. I'm going to do a bit of both. So I'm just placing this on, and I know it's hard to see on the camera, but I can kind of see where the splatters and things are, and I'm just going to try to dab this just within my coffee splatters and nowhere else. So I'm going to do that and dry it. Okay, that didn't work because my paper curled and it didn't stay flat. So that's fine. I'm going to finish drying this. And I actually like that darker shade. So you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and add some more here and there. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. Okay, so this is, for the most part, dry. I'm going to take my stencil, and I can see through the stencil, for the most part, where my coffee is. I'm going to take my, the darker coffee. So I'm going to kind of follow these shapes here. And I'm bringing in my craft white ink. You could use texture paste, anything like that, but I'm going to do this. My little brush is stained green. It is actually clean. So I'm just going to pick up some of that white and rub it on top of that darker area. Okay, ready? Look. Right? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm just going to go where it's the darkest. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. Okay, we're going to do the same thing down here. So, you see, this is really just the beginning. There is so much you can do with these coffee techniques, you guys. So much. Okay, I've just positioned some dies down and the paper's not wet. So I want to show you, whoops, the difference of that. Versus wetting it, which we'll do over here. Okay, and do a little bit more spritzing. And some more splattering. And then I'm going to dry this. But that's okay. So I want to show you, this is the one, this side here, I did not wet the paper before I put this on, right? I put the die cut on and then I put the coffee on top. So let's show you. Right? Pretty. And then this one, I wet this side, put the die cut on, and then put more coffee on. And that's pretty cool too. So I'm not going to say there's any right or wrong way. It's a matter of you playing around and seeing, do you like the softer? Do you like the more crisp lines, so to speak? So this isn't finished drying yet. I'm going to come back in a, well, who knows how long it'll be. I'm going to put my cards together and show you how everything looked when it's dried. And the last thing that I want to show you is using the seahorse, because I was telling you about that earlier. I think I'm just going to put the seahorse and the coral down. This is still damp. I think this time I'm just going to use clear water. I'm not even going to use coffee. So I already have the coffee and the ink behind this, right? So I'm just dabbing on water. And we'll splatter on some water. And let that dry. So let's do a little recap of everything that I've created. It's the following day, and everything that was still a little bit damp has fully dried. The heat tool really sped things up. So again, some of these I had done prior to filming, but this was with the dies, actually the dies, not die cuts, for the butterflies. And then I did the die cuts and then the negative on this side here. This again was with the dies and the die cuts and the alphabets. Stencils, die cuts. This was one of my first ones playing around, but I'm gonna jazz this up somehow. Haven't figured it out, but look how that one turned out, that beautiful die cut there. And then the seahorse, which remember I had mentioned I used black cardstock for the die cut, and that's why there's that dark color there. This one was one of my very first ones playing around. That was using lace, which I didn't demonstrate in today's video because, can you tell, there are so many ways to use the coffee technique with other products. So I'm going to come back to this at the end of this video with a little something for you. And then here's with the stencils again and another die cut. Here's this piece that I just went crazy over. I just kept playing around, and having a lot of fun. And did you guess what I'm going to turn this into, you guys? If you guessed a booklet, you are absolutely correct. So that is going to be a really fun project to make. This is the one where I stenciled the white on top of the darker color and also spritzed with the blue. I can't wait to create with that. And then this one is, I didn't show you the finish. I had to let it dry, but this is the one where I tapped water on top of the dies. And look at that. Look how it just kind of went whoosh, like, oh my goodness. I am so pleased with this. This one turned out really, really pretty. Very vintagey, some nice coloring. This is another one that I just showed you how I laid everything down, but you haven't seen it dried. You can also see the pattern of my cooling rack beneath that, which I did mention that can happen, but I'm also totally fine with it. So that was just laying the die cuts right on top, overlapping a little bit. So pretty. A little bit of the ink with the coffee. This one turned out really, really pretty. This one did not turn out very well, but it's still going to be awesome when I finish with it. This one, I had some kind of die cuts on this one. I can't recall right now. But anyways, I think I either took them off too soon before they dried. I can't remember, but that's what I ended up there with. This was the first one I showed you just with the stencil, so I'll definitely be jazzing that up a bit. And then look at you guys. These were ones that I did after I filmed, like holy moly. Now for this one, what I did is I took the die cut and put it on my coffee paper and the word inspire, that was also a die cut. And then I laid the stencil over top of the die cut. Added some more coffee, a little bit of spritzing with the blueberry bushel, dried it, and that's what I ended up with. And isn't that cool with the stenciling overlaying on the die cut? Like I could imagine a lot of different ways we could use that. And then this one was that die that I showed you at the beginning of the video where I'm like, can you imagine? Well, there it is. And it turned out really, really pretty. Now, this one is a real wow to me. This is using the Scenic Adventures dies, which are current. And I'm so tickled with how this one turned out. I just layered the die cuts. Let me just show you. So I layered that one like so, and when I cut out this die, right, I put the trees underneath it, so that is also working as a 2-for-1, right, because it does my mountain and it does the trees at the same time. So I had that here, and then I'm not sure where the little cloud is, but oh, here it is. And then I put the cloud on, added my coffee, my spritzing, let it dry, and I could not be more pleased with that. But wait, there's more. I have this die cut from a retired bundle, and my plan is, look at, it's going to be a mountain biker. I have to color this guy first, but look. So for all of us who have friends and family who love to go mountain biking, like, oh my gosh, and I'm going to pop it off the card. So I can't wait to finish this card. I can't wait to put all of these together. And on top of this, you guys, you then end up with all of the coffee stained die cuts, right? That you can absolutely use on your projects. Of course, you're going to use them on your projects. And I didn't use that tree, but I've got the trees there. I am really, really pumped. I am so pumped with all the ideas that I'm going to be using these. Here's the butterfly that I used for this one. I'm beyond excited to create with these. So there you have it. Those are all the beautiful papers I made using coffee and a whole lot of crafty fun. I know this video is a little bit longer, but I couldn't stop, and I just wanted to show you just some of the many possibilities. Now here's an exciting thing, guys. I have also put together a creative coffee dyeing companion guide that goes along with this video. It includes step-by-step instructions for all the techniques that I shared with you today, tips and tricks, Stampin' Up! Color combinations, ideas for what to do and what to make with your finished papers, and even a bonus video with a few extra techniques that I didn't didn't have time to film in this video. So it's like a mini class that you can print off, keep in your craft space, and it's available for just $12.95 Canadian. And I'll put the link in the description down below, or head over to my website at serenestamper.com. And be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because in my next video, guess what? I'm going to be showing you how I turn all of these backgrounds into cards and other fun projects. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this inspired you to play and try something new, or even try using coffee in different ways that maybe you hadn't thought of before. And until next time, take care. I appreciate you so much, and happy stamping.